think for me, just give me a chance. I've done all my badges. I'm raring to go. I want to do this job. I love football. I'm in love with football. I just don't want to fall out of love of football, really. I'm trying every day. I'm trying to kind of get in there. I want people to understand that, the passion I have for the game. And I want to pass it on. If I can pass it on through knowledge, helping young players, reach the top, or tweaking, top players, if you do this, you do that, it'll make it, give you a little bit of an edge. And I've seen that. I can see that, I've been through all that. I know I've played top football. I've played, at the top for a very, very long time under pressure. And I can, I don't want all this talent and knowledge to go to waste.
Why, I know Simon will come in this with me in a minute. Why do you think you haven't been given the chance, Sol?
Who knows?
As yet.
I think for
you
me...
must have a good idea.
Yeah, I think for me it's all about, maybe the CEOs and the people who make the decisions knowing a little bit more about me, really. I think they're going to... Sometimes, you don't want hearsay. If you want to know about who the person is, you talk to him. That's the best way. That's the way I've grown. I've been brought up. If I want to know about someone, you talk to them. Yes, some people might have, good people around them saying, "Oh, don't go here, don't choose him, whatever." And if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit.
But how many jobs have you applied for?
Well, 14, 15, yeah.
14 and 15, and you get to the interview stage, and thereafter?
No, I've only got one out of that. Well, 2 now.
You've had 2 interviews from 14 job applications.
Yes.
I mean, Simon, this is Sol Campbell sitting beside us here.
Yeah.
This is one of the greats of the game. This is a guy who thrived in an England shirt, thrived in an Arsenal shirt.
But with respect, that's got nothing to do with Sol Campbell, the manager. Sol Campbell, the player.
But why is he not getting an interview?
Well, look, 99% of people that apply for jobs don't get them. 99% of people that go for interviews don't get them. There are many, many more people that apply for jobs and have applications to get an interview or actually get an interview that don't get a job than those that do. So you have to look at the manner in which you're communicating. You have to look at the perception of you. You have to look at the industry. One of the things that Sol will know, as well as I do, because he was in the game a lot longer than I was, but I was still in it for 10 years from a different position than Sol, is this industry relies sometimes on perception. Perception is 90% of reality. When you're a player, it's much more tangible because your performance on the pitch suggests what kind of individual you may or may not be. Yet still there's a doubt about characters and outlooks and dispositions, and people do make decisions based upon their perception of an individual. And more so in management roles, where they look at it and say, okay, this is what I've heard about this individual. This is how I've heard from other colleagues of mine that have interviewed him or have him managed their club for me. And so you
shouldn't be influenced by what else you hear. You're making the decision yourself, Simon.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, do you make your mind up early in an interview with a potential manager?
That is equal. Well, you make your mind up if you've got anything about you. If you've got any substance about you, and a lot of football people haven't. If you've got any substance about you, you make your mind up based upon your first-hand encounter with somebody, as Sol has just alluded to. Yeah. It is absolutely right that people should judge people by first-hand experience, not by other people's perception of them. But in an industry where there are a lot of people trying to get a very small amount of jobs, irrespective of creed and ethnicity, a lot of people trying to get a very small amount of jobs, it doesn't necessarily follow that just because you happen to be one of the best central defenders this country ever produced, that you're going to be a very good manager.
What do you say to that, Sol?
I think I totally understand it. Yeah, Simon's right. There's a lot of people going for those jobs.
I mean, what do you think the perception is of you in a job interview or when you apply for a job?
I don't know. Who knows? That's why I'm on this show, and it's good to be on these shows. So talking, so people can actually hear you talk, hear the passion, understand that you have the love for the game. And yeah, there's a lot of players out there who want to be managers. There's a lot of managers, out of work, want to be back in work. So yeah, it's a bottleneck scenario. Everybody is fighting for, how many new clubs are being produced? Not many. How many managers are on the line who want jobs? It's, probably 50 a year. Who knows?
But the fact is, you haven't managed to land a job in management yet. That's a source of frustration to you enormously. Do you think you've been wrongly perceived? There's a wrong perception out there about you.
I don't know. I think for me, the more, who knows? Maybe, who knows? I like to think it wasn't that. I like to think, people want to get to know me. Get to know me. I think that's the main thing for me to kind of show what I can do. I've only shown a couple of times at 2 clubs. I don't think you've seen the best of me. But yeah, I understand that the pressure of getting a job now is immense.
Of
but
course.
I'm in for the long haul, so I'll keep on putting in those those docs, those big docs, and hopefully someone's going to say, look, let's pursue this. Let's see what's happening behind it. Let's have a conversation, and probably they've gone through A, B, C, D, and chosen all sorts of managers, and it might not have worked out, and they might say, look, let's give this guy a chance, or it might not happen.
You will be thinking at this stage, Sol, and you wouldn't be wrong, that you're rehearsing for The Apprentice with Jordan sitting opposite you. Did you go for the England under-21 job?
They called me, and I accepted, and I went down there and had my interview. Yes, how can you not turn down England?
And how did you think you did in that interview, Sol?
I think for me, I did it right. Obviously, I'm not going to be the person they want. They've gone a different route. I think there's a lot of people who have to say yes in that particular job. But it was an honour to do the interview. It was lovely to go down to the up to the training ground, and I enjoyed the whole process. It was great.
How did you feel going into it? Did you steel yourself? Were you ready for anything that was thrown at you? Did you think, as you used to do when you played for Arsenal, I am not coming out of this until I get the job done?
No, for me, it's all good. It's all good. It's all about talking. It's all about how you fit into the mould, and they talked about where they're going, how you fit in, what they're trying to do, and things like that. So it was more of a conversation.
How do you mean fit into the mould?
Well, fit into how they want to progress. So it wasn't really deep technical side. It's more of a conversation, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
How would you operate in an interview, Simon, with Sol sitting on the other side of the desk? I mean, what's your approach? Obviously you want to hear what the guy's got to say, but what are you trying to get out of Sol that will make you make a decision? I either employ Sol Campbell or I don't.
Well, I think you sit back and you simply ask him to convince you as to the reasons why he is the candidate for the job. I mean, ultimately, that's his job. It's not my job. I've got a job. I know what I want. I want someone to come and run my football club. I want somebody to be successful on the front foot, to have integrity, to have balance, hard work, commitment, all the stuff that they'll be told in an interview that they've got. But I want them to convince me. I want them to sit there, because the interview is really easy, because the one thing a manager can do is talk about himself. It's the one thing he knows. Right? What you want to do is get underneath his skin to find out what he's really going to do when he gets put under adversity. Everyone's good when everything's going their way. It's when situations are more difficult and more challenging. And to be fair to Sol, what I like and what I admire about him is he's got the balls to go, I'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
I'll have a go at that. That's what gets you on the management ladder. Whether you are a great player or not, is with the greatest will in the world, it means you understand the mentality of a footballer. It doesn't mean you understand the mentality of a manager. It gives you a lot of experiences and you're the sum of all your parts. It does not mean that you're going to be a top manager. Look at the top managers. Most of them aren't top players.
Does instinct tell you at the moment that Sol does enough in an interview to convince a potential employer?
I think that's an unfair question, because I've not seen him in an interview. My instinct...
Well, he's just described how he goes about it in an interview.
Well, he hasn't.
He's well prepared, he's well rehearsed, and he's ready for anything.
You asked him a question about how he went and had a conversation about the under-21s, and he told you that he wasn't sure if he fitted into that mould. And quite frankly, I think it's probably done him a favour, because judging by what Adi Boothroyd says, he wants that job anyway.
But I'm just concerned that you make your mind up before the interview starts, do you?
Well, listen, unfortunately, and fortunately, this industry enables people's reputation, some of them earned and some of them unearned, to precede them. So you can't get around it. You can't not be Sol Campbell and walk into a room and someone not have a perception of you. Now, whether you do enough in that interview to change that perception. I had Steve Bruce walk into an interview. You've heard this story many times over. I disliked him intensely. I thought he was a complete and utter waste of time, and advised his previous chairman to fire him on the spot because I thought he was a disgrace. Phil Smith, the agent, convinced me to see him, and my opening question was, why would I want a disloyal little wretch like you to come and manage my football club? And what I got was somebody that told me precisely the reasons why they should come and manage my club. Now, what Sol's going to do, and what I hope he's going to do, is he's not going to take no for an answer. And he's going to do whatever it takes to get into a position where he gets an opportunity, one way, hook or crook. Now, whether that's going in as a number 2, whether that's earning and learning your trade under the auspice of a relationship with somebody else that gets you into position. Keith Curle came to Palace with Neil Warnock and myself, and has earned his opportunity to go and manage a raft of other clubs, not the glamorous ones, but still a job in management, which is what he wants. And Sol's got to find his path.
Is Simon right? Is Simon right about you, Sol?
I think you got to look at everything. I love to manage my own club. If that's not going to happen, I'll look at an assistant and learn from some of the great managers. I'm open. I just want to manage and help out and train and learn, and that's what it's all about. Getting on the grass and when it comes to adversity, I'm right up there. I can control things. I've been under pressure. I've been under severe pressure and still got through that, and I can do that with players. I can get them through.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about, because it's all about managing players and managing egos and managing yourself, and managing your team around you.
So what did you mean then when you're trying to fit into the mould they wanted for the under-21?
Well, that's just me. That's just me. I think you've got to be down the middle. You can't go left to right. I think that's their kind of how they want their managers and things like that. And I totally understand that.
Framework. It's a framework.
Yeah.
He's right. He's absolutely right in what he's saying.
Yeah. I mean, you still feel, Sol, and all credit to you, you have the credentials to manage a football club. You have what it takes. You can be ruthless if you need to be. You can be understanding if you need to be. You can call upon shed loads of experience. Yes,
I can do all those things. But it's all about opportunity, and it's all about, trying to get that first job. That first job, what gives me a chance. I've had 2 jobs. Yeah, but I've never been given a chance, in the sense that a budget, some type of budget, some type of framework to work from. And, I've had those 2 clubs, and it's not as how I expected, but I've got on with it. But now I want to kind of have a situation, if I want to come at number 2 or manage, just a little bit of foundation so I can work with.
Yeah. I mean, 2 interviews out of 14. You're not going to give up, are you? Or are you? Have you been close to giving up?
Of course I have, yeah, but I won't. I'll keep going. I've got too much to give for the game. Too much. I want to show what I can do. I want to win the things that I not won before. I want to win again. I want to get promotion. I want to get into the I want to save teams and bring them up. I want to bring players on so they can be fantastic players. I want to make money for the club and things like that. I want to be in football. I love football. I love being in and around the players, and ups and downs, the banter, the shouts, the arguments, the blood, the tears, the happiness, all that kind of stuff. I love it. I come alive on the pitch.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.